What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bookmarked. I'm your host, SherrysJoy, and I read another book, The Wedding People by Alison Espach. I am in the wonderful Scout Cafe in Wilmington, Delaware. Ever since I came here the first time, we came here for the chocolate and tea tasting, so check that out on the DigiKast channel. I have wanted to do a book review here, and we are here, and it is such a cute cafe. I absolutely love it. It's a perfect atmosphere for a book review. Okay, so I actually heard about The Wedding People by a coworker. She recommended this book to me, and I fell in love with it like right away, right? Let's back up. So yes, I fell in love with it right away. It would have taken me 3 days to read the book, but it's been kind of busy. We've been doing a lot of things, traveling and whatnot. So I finished it pretty quickly, not 3 days though, but I could have, because it was definitely a page turner. And if you have read this book, please send me a note in the comments, or let me know that you read this book, if you read this book, what you thought about it, what you think about this video. And again, if you or anyone you know that can benefit from this video, let me know. Let people know, and go ahead and spread the love and pass on the message. Give me a like and a subscribe, and I appreciate all of your support as always. So this book, what is different about this book? This is kind of it's almost like a dark love story without it being a love story or too dark. It might be a little gray. Everybody that I have talked to about this book that has read it, or the reviews I've seen, call it dark. I mean, I think it starts off a little dark, but then it kind of cools down a little bit, or gets brighter, I should say. We are in Newport, Rhode Island, and we are at a wedding. The main character, her name is Phoebe. She's from St. Louis, and she travels to this hotel called the Cornwall Hotel in Newport, Rhode Island. It's a place that she's always wanted to go to with her husband. She has definitely just gone through a divorce, and she goes to this hotel to kind of get away and relax before she unalives herself on purpose. And I like how she gets there, she comes across this wedding information, she walks in this welcome wedding party of Lila and Gary. And then everybody in line waiting to check in is there for the wedding, and then here comes the bride. Her name is Lila. She's giving out the swag. She's giving out swag bags of random stuff, like expensive champagne, wine, Oreos, weird Oreos or whatever. And she sees Phoebe, and she gives her a hug. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Here, take a swag bag," right? So that's that, first of all, tells you, okay, so this is a huge wedding. You're greeting somebody for your wedding that you don't even know, and you don't even realize that you don't know this person, because your families are so big that you don't know everybody. And so she goes to check in, and the concierge is like, "Okay, you're here for the wedding?" She's like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, okay, well, we got you in suite, yada, yada, yada." The suites are all named after different themes or different genres. So hers is the Golden Suite, or the Roaring 20s suite. And so she's got this really great ocean view and balcony and everything. She gets on the elevator to go up, and then Lila comes into the elevator, and Lila are talking. Lila's like, "Are you here from something about, I don't know." They start talking about, "Are you here for my wedding?" And she's like, "No, I'm here to unalive myself." And Lila's like, "Are you serious? You can't do that. You can't do that to me on my wedding." So she's got this whole hotel booked for a whole entire, the whole entire wedding thing. It starts on a Wednesday and it ends on a Monday. The wedding is supposed to be on Sunday. So she's got every day is a different event. And so every part of the book is a different day of the event. And like, how selfish is Lila? Is like, you can't unalive yourself at my wedding. Like, you're gonna ruin the whole thing. And Phoebe is like, I don't care. I don't care. It's not about you. So I think because Phoebe is like Simone Small, I don't care. She's like very truthful, very honest with everything, because she's on some I don't care. So that makes the book like, that gives it a comedic aspect of it, I guess you could say, like, I don't know, like a comedy relief type of thing. And I really did enjoy that about the book. I thought that was funny. I chuckled through the whole entire thing. And now, like I said, it does get lighter as the book goes, you know, it gets more daytime, I guess you could say, as the book moves along. And you fall in love with some of these characters. Like, I absolutely can't stand Lila. She's like your bridezilla, your typical bridezilla. Like, everything has to be perfect, everything has to be this way, everything has to be that way, la 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 la. She's like, she gets upset. This is kind of a spoiler, but not really, it's not a big deal. She gets upset because she requested a vintage car at one point of the book, and they bring a brand new, at the time it was a brand new Mercedes. Now this book came out in 2024, and we are kind of, I think are we in the middle of the pandemic? I'm getting that this book is kind of taking place in 2020. So they bring out like this brand new, tricked out, inside, top of the art stereo system Mercedes, fully equipped with like the best champagne. And Lila's like, I'm not getting in that car. It's not a vintage car. It's not what I wanted. And Phoebe's like, get in the car. Like, what are you doing? Like, get in the car. What does the car matter? Nobody cares about you and what car you're in. Nobody's even going to be outside. They're not even going to see you in this car. She's like, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about what I ordered, and this is not what I wanted. And she refused, like she's 5 years old, to get inside of this car. It's insane. And then meanwhile, like her fiance, he's 14 years older than her, and he is a gastro doctor, and he has a daughter. He was previously married. His wife passed, and they have a daughter. The daughter's name is Mel, and they call her Juice. And Lila refuses to call her Juice, and the reason why they call her Juice as her nickname is because her mother used to call her Juice, because she was like, now this part I didn't like, but because she was like always on the go and she was quick with everything and fast, they named her after the Juice, right? OJ, because his nickname was the Juice. So that's where they got that from. I'm not even gonna go there with that, but yeah. So Lila is that kind of person. Like, you're trying to bond with who's going to be your stepdaughter, but you like refuse to acknowledge things that she likes. Like, at one point, you know, they wanted to do surfing lessons, so Lila did put that in the schedule to do surfing lessons, but then when it was time to do it, she's like, I don't want to do it. But Mel, Juice, really wanted to do it, and I was like, well, no, I can't. And she's like making excuses. So Mel really does not like Lila, and it's like, if you're going to be somebody's stepmother, you kind of have to like bond with that person too. And we don't really know how old Mel is. I'm kind of getting that she could be a tween. You know, she could be anywhere between like 8 and 13. She's definitely sarcastic, and she can definitely hold her own. She throws it back, but not at Lila. She throws it back with Phoebe, because Phoebe is on some, I don't care, I'm gonna tell the truth. So, you know, she talks to everybody, and she really, really bonds with Mel. And that's part of the second part of the book. The second and third day of the book, she's really like getting to know the other characters in the book, the wedding party. You know, she really becomes close with Mel, the stepdaughter. She becomes really close with the groom's sister, Marla. Lila and Marla do not get along. I don't know, they just don't like each other. But Phoebe is like, well, I don't understand, what's the big deal? You know, Marla's great. So she really bonds with Gary, he's the groom. She bonds with Jim. Jim is the deceased wife's brother, and Jim and Gary became really, really close. You know, they were bros. And so Jim is actually the best man is Gary's best man, because they really are tight and close like family. They were there for each other when the wife died. And she bonds with Lila's mother, and Lila does not like her mother, and she bonds with her. Like, she really gets to know these characters. She takes time to get to know. And then by the end, of the book, like, she's feeling great about herself. So obviously she doesn't unalive herself. I mean, that's not a spoiler, otherwise there would be no book. So I really did like the way that the book was written. The characters, each character was written. I like how Phoebe bonded with all the other characters, and that's how we kind of got to know the characters and put everything together, and it all just came together. It was great. It was wonderful. And I am in a coffee shop, so I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. Wonderful coffee. It's good coffee. Okay, where were we? So yeah, okay, so what I didn't like about the book is, to me, it ended kind of on like a cliffhanger. It really depends on what you get from the book. It could kind of I can see how it wraps up Phoebe's old life, if you will, and then she's starting a new beginning. So you could look at it that way. Me, I wanted to know what's going to happen next. So even though we can tell that she's moving on to the next phase of her life, I kind of want to know about that next phase in her life. I don't know if the author is going to write a second book about this or not, but I would have liked an epilogue, where it flips forward, maybe so many years later, or even a year or a few months later, whatever. I would really like to know a flip forward to kind of find out, like, what happened. Did she get together with XYZ? Did XYZ get together with XYZ? Like, all that other stuff. So yeah, it was very interesting and very, very awesome. Oh yeah, for the book. All right, hold on. All right, yes, I would have loved an epilogue to find out what was going on. Yeah, so that is the book. I rate this book a 5. I am so glad that this book was recommended to me. I highly recommend it to anybody. And like I said, if you've read this book, or if you have questions or whatever, hit me up in the comments. I really want to know. I want to know what you guys thought about the book. If you've read anything else from this author, please let me know. I kind of looked at other books that she's done, and I'm very interested in a few of them, but I don't know. But so just let me know. Other than that, I'm SherrysJoy. I have to use my cheat sheet here. You can find me on Blue Sky at SherrysJoy. You can find me on Instagram at BookMarkedSJ. You can find me, obviously, on YouTube here at BookMarkedSJ. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. This is a new channel that I started, and I'm starting kind of like from scratch on this channel. So all the love and support you can give me and share and all that will really, really help me out. I do enjoy doing this. I do it because I absolutely love it. I just finished this is actually my 31st book of the year that I finished this year. My goal is 52, so I'm very excited. I got my Avid Award, Avid Reader Achievement for July. So it's really great. It's really exciting. I have a linked tree, and that's BookMarkedSJ, and of course, all of that is part of the DigiKast. So check us out. Love the world. And as Awesome Rob would say, peace up in the grill. Bye.